Hey everyone, and welcome to the Pop Culture News here on The Experience. Today is Election Day, so a lot's going on. So the entertainment world's a little smaller, so we're going to have some news to cover. We're going to get right into it and get you back to your day. So let's start with Agatha All Along, which ended with a bang according to the viewership numbers. The final two episodes were released at the same time, with episode 8 gaining 4.6 million viewers, up 48% from the series premiere and up about 400,000 viewers from episode 7. Now, interestingly, the ninth episode got 3.9 million viewers. Now, the dip in the audience could be explained by people not knowing there were two episodes or wanting to save the final for the next night, Halloween. Also, the way the eighth episode ended could have left viewers believing that it was the finale. Now, Marvel has been changing its release schedule for the last few projects with What If, remember around last Christmas, releasing a new episode every night on sequential nights, and then Echo was just released all at once. Now, Agatha released on a weekly schedule, except for the first week we had two episodes, and then on the last week we had two episodes. The next thing to be released is going to be another season of What If. Now, will they go back to the nightly schedule for that? Also, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man will be in January, and then we'll get the live action Daredevil Born Again in March. So it'll be interesting to see how they do that. If they're going to keep doing the two on the first night, or if they're just going to change it up depending on the series. All right, moving on. Well, it worked for Top Gun Maverick. Now, the latest word is that Paramount Pictures is looking to fire up another 35-year-old dominant Tom Cruise franchise and return to Days of Thunder. Now, the actor is said to be in early talks to reprise his role as Cole Trickle in the 1990 NASCAR-themed film, but that one also starred like Nicole Kidman, Robert Duvall, Carrie Ells, Randy Quaid, Michael Rooker, and John C. Reilly. So we'll see how many of them come back as well. Now, at the rate that they're going, though, where they're looking for old Tom Cruise movies to reboot, at least the action ones, the next action one in line would be Mission Impossible from 1996, which they can't really do because they're still doing Mission Impossible movies 30 years later. All right, moving over, Joker Folie à Deux director Todd Phillips has an idea to make the movie-going experience better. And no, it's not just don't put his movies in the theaters. Empire Magazine has been asking different filmmakers what they thought would be good ways to change things and what the future of movies and entertainment will look like. And most of them are talking about stuff like AI or streaming services, where Phillips had a very different answer. He said, stop showing commercials before the movies. We've paid for our ticket. We're excited to be there. The commercials tend to take the air out of the room. Now, between ads and trailers, there does seem to be about a half hour of material that airs prior to the start of the actual movie. There are times that I've been in the theater waiting and forget what movie is I'm going to see because of all the trailers and commercials. So, at least with streaming services, you have the choice, so you can spend a little bit extra money and avoid the commercials. Maybe that's what theaters should do. Movie tickets this price, or with ads, it's cheaper. I kind of like that idea, actually. We'll have to see. This is an interesting story with Star Wars The Phantom Menace coming up for its 25th anniversary. Can you believe that? We're learning something interesting that almost happened in the film that would have shaken things up quite a bit. See, Obi-Wan was originally going to die in the battle with Darth Maul. Now, I know what you're thinking. That can't make sense because this takes place before A New Hope, and Obi-Wan is in A New Hope. Well, that's where the part is controversial. See, according to concept and storyboard artist Ian McCraig, the things were originally very different. He said, it's interesting how things evolve. For a time, the older Jedi was named Obi-Wan and the younger Jedi was named Qui-Gon. It was a very poignant that at the end, Obi-Wan dies and Qui-Gon defeats Darth Maul and stays with his master as he passes away. He not only takes on his master's quest, but he takes on his name. Qui-Gon becomes Obi-Wan. Now, he went on to say that's why when you see Alec Guinness in A New Hope, he puts his hood down and goes, Obi-Wan. Now, that's a name I have not heard, in a long time. And that's because he's not Obi-Wan, he's Qui-Gon. And right at the end, George changed it. And I think George Lucas probably saw that this was just a lot more complication for no real payoff. So I'm glad he got rid of that. All right, moving on. One of the major questions that have been floating around the MCU since Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness has to do with the final fate of Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. Now, we don't actually see the character die. We just see the temple crumbling and her supposedly in it, and then there's a bright red flash, and that's all we know. Well, we also learn that she destroyed the Darkhold in every universe, meaning she had access to the multiverse at the end. Now, when the character is brought up in Agatha All Along, her fate is also not clear. There's a point where Billy, played by Joe Locke, asks if Wanda is dead. Agatha, Catherine Hahn, says yes, no, maybe. Later, Elizabeth Olsen's character was referred to as being gone, a word that Marvel Studios told show writer Jack Schaefer to use specifically when referring to Wanda's fate. Now, Olsen has said that she would return to the MCU if the story was right. And with the upcoming Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, it's likely Scarlet Witch will be brought back, possibly being used by Doctor Doom to warp reality into one where he's in power. That's kind of the Battle World scenario from Secret Wars. We'll have to see if that's how it works out. All right. And our final story today, remember I said it's kind of a short news. The Penguins episode 7 continues its trend of growing its audience. The penultimate episode brought in 1.9 million viewers in the first 24 hours, which is continuing the series' growth of about 100,000 new viewers each week. Last time it was 1.8. The time before that was 1.7, 1.6. So it's been gaining about 100,000 new people every time a brand new episode drops. So now this is really good. Now, Warner Brothers Discovery is reporting also that the first episode has now had 16 million viewers, which is up about 2 million from a couple weeks ago. Now, we're coming to the end. The show is still absolutely fantastic. The finale will air on Sunday, November 10th. If you have HBO, it's 9 p.m., whether you're Eastern or Pacific. If you have Max, then it's 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, because they just go, it's up, go. So, reason to have HBO Max or Max rather than HBO. But either way, Penguins finale Sunday, and that show has been absolutely fantastic. All right, guys, we are going to wrap it up there. Remember, whoever you're voting for, get out there and vote. And stick around later today. We've got Minute to Skim It, Mint Hunter, and Kicking with Henri. So you want to see all that. And I will be back on Thursday with probably talking about the Penguin, the 7th episode, and going into the finale, what we might expect. So I will see you guys then. Have a great day.